What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 13 of our show, Director's Spotlight, covering the entire filmography of Steven Spielberg. We are up to, again, his 13th movie. This would be Hook from 1991. I'm your host, Nate, and I am joined by my co-host, Alex.
Hello.
As well as Evan.
Hello.
And we are going to be going over this film now. This is a interesting movie in a lot of different ways, and we'll get over. It's going to be interesting to hear your guys' take. I'm interested to hear it. I'm also interested to go over some of these numbers. They're very weird and odd, and I don't really understand it. Now, before we do all that, Alex, when is the last time you have seen this movie? Did you see it in the theater when it came out back in 91, or what's your experience?
I never seen it in the theater when it came out, but I'm not really watching this as much. So I saw this when the 4K came out, and that's the last time I seen it. Is when I brought the 4K and then I popped it on. Because I'm different. I know you do the whole you buy it and then you don't watch it for a couple of years and then you pop it on. Yeah. I always tend to watch what I buy, and just in case the disc is messed up, then I can replace it. Yeah. So, but with that one, I remember I brought it and I was like, yeah, and I popped it on. That's the last time I seen it.
All right. And before that, though, did you watch it? Like,
I wasn't religiously, like, I saw it like once or twice, maybe, but not always like, boop, let's put it on.
Got it. Okay, Evan, same question. And have you seen this more or less times than Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
I think it's probably more times, because as a kid, I watched it, I don't know how many times. I'm so glad there's this, it's before digital social media. There is a picture of me in a complete Peter Pan cook costume, because I had the sword, I had the knife, I was in tights and everything. Wow. I was in 4th grade. That's who I dressed up.
Send it to Alex so he could insert it.
Yes. Send it to me.
Heck no.
Yes, I want to put it right next to your microphone.
We don't have your Dick Tracy birthday party photo, so this is the next best thing.
No.
Okay, so you're a big fan of this movie.
I was a big fan, but over the years, I haven't been like watching it. I bought it on Blu-ray to show my son a couple years ago when he was into Jake and the Neverland Pirates and Hook and all that stuff. So I bought the Blu-ray because I had it on VHS. I never bought it on DVD, which is shocking. So I bought the Blu-ray, and so it's been would be like 3 years since I've seen it again.
Okay. This movie I saw a million times growing up. I mean, maybe not a million, but a lot. I don't know how many times. Me and my sister used to watch it a lot. Did not have it on VHS or anything. It was more so one of those ones where, like, every time it was on TV, we watched it. Also, I was told by my sister we did see this at the theater. Now, I was 4, so I don't remember, but
she remembered.
I remember. She remembered. Yeah, she's a couple years older than me, so she remembers. She's like, no, we saw that at the theater. So I actually never owned this physically until the 4K. I did have it digitally though, so I had seen it as an adult as well. And I watched this at the theater for this review, which was an experience. It was great. There was about 12 people in there, but the cool thing was it was like me and maybe 15 people. Me and one other guy who looked maybe my age, and everyone else was like kind of young. So I love when like younger people go to see these old movies at the theater and experience them. And they all clapped at the end. So that was cool. You know what I mean? Like it was fun. So I'm interested to talk about it with you guys. Let's get into some numbers really quick. That way we can review this. This movie, again, came out in 1991, $70 million budget. Okay. $300.9 million box office. So it definitely made money, but it's going to be interesting when we get to some other parts of the background here, the way they talk about it. So made money. Now, this is the craziest part. I don't understand this. These Rotten Tomato scores, I don't know what's going on here. This has a 29% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. 29. That's worse than some other ones we've done. But it does have a 76% audience score. So pretty well liked by regular people. Apparently critics hate this movie. They're not really a big fan of it. With all that said, it did have 5 Academy Award nominations. No Best Director, no Best Picture, but it did get nominated for 5, did not win any. So there you go. Now, here's where this is some of the interesting stuff. These first two little pieces of information, these are kind of long, so I'll read them quick as I can. Okay, so Spielberg began developing Hook in the early 1980s with Walt Disney and Paramount. It would have followed the Peter Pan storyline seen in the 1924 silent film, as well as the 1953 animated Disney film. It entered pre-production in 1985, but Spielberg ended up abandoning the project. It was then developed, Hart, I guess, is one of the producers, then developed the script with director Nick Castle, and TriStar Pictures, which is, of course, an arm of Columbia Pictures, which is now Sony. And before Spielberg decided, I want to direct it, actually, in 1989. So he came back and he said, Nick Castle, you gotta go. You're out of here. Sorry, buddy. And it was shot almost entirely on sound stages at Sony Picture Studios in Culver City, California, which is impressive when you watch this movie. And it makes sense, but it's pretty cool.
So,
yeah.
I have a quick question. Were they taking Spielberg's idea, TriStar, and just have Nick direct it? And that's how Spielberg got on it? Or were they developing their own thing and then Spielberg says, I already got this and did that? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, he was developing it, but he did not like write a script or anything for it. It was more so
it's just an idea.
He also produced.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just kind of, he was in the pipeline and then got off of it and then got back on and then Nick Castle got the boot. All right. Now, released on December 11th, 1991, Hook received mixed reviews from critics who praised the performances of Williams and Hoffman in particular, John Williams' musical score, and the film's production values, but they criticized the screenplay and the tone of the film. The film also received 5 nominations at the Academy Awards, although it was a commercial success and was the 4th highest grossing film of 1991. Apparently, it failed to meet the studio's expectations. So they were expecting 500, 600 million instead of 3. So even though it was profitable and the 4th best grossing movie, Sony was like, this is a failure. Since the release, Hook has gained a strong cult following and is considered by many to be a cult classic. I don't quite get that. I don't know how you can have a movie that made $300 million and it's somehow a cult classic, but maybe it's because it was poorly received.
Yeah.
Or I guess for adults, I mean, I don't know anyone of my generation who didn't see it, who didn't love it. Like, there's not... Like, if you were that one kid who's like, I'm just not going to like Hook because it's so popular. Like, everyone from my age grew up with it. It's like, it's not like one of those movies that, like, Small Soldiers that, like, only a small few saw.
That's a very more cult movie.
Yeah,
it's weird. I don't get it, but whatever. Steven Spielberg found a close personal connection to Peter Pan's story from his own childhood. The troubled relationship between Peter Banning and his son Jack in the film echoed Spielberg's relationship with his own father, Arnold. Previous Spielberg films that explored this dysfunctional father-son relationship included E.T., which we already covered, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which we also reviewed. Peter's quest for success paralleled Spielberg's starting out as a film director and transforming into a Hollywood business magnate. And then here's the last one, and then we'll get into some reviews here. Many fans believe that Tom Hanks was Spielberg's original choice for the role of Peter Pan. Tom Hanks has debunked that rumor over time. However, Kevin Kline was also considered for the role, but was unable to commit due to reshoots for something called Soap Dish. I don't even know what that is.
That's a comedy.
It's a big movie.
Well,
it was a big movie that for adults, like in the sense of like for parents.
Gotcha.
Whatever.
Well, thank God he did that because then we wouldn't have got Robin Williams. Joseph Mazzello auditioned for the role of Jack Banning, the son, but was turned down because he was deemed too young. However, Spielberg liked him and cast him as Tim in Jurassic Park. So he didn't get to be in Hook, but he got to be in the greatest movie of all time. Sounds like a win to me. Anyway, that's what I got as far as fun facts and numbers. Let's get into some thoughts on this because I read all this stuff and I'm like, wow, a lot of people, regular people seem to like this movie. Like Evan, most of the people I know in my kind of age group enjoy this film. At worst, enjoy it, and at best, love it. Someone reached out to me when I posted on Instagram, said it's their favorite movie of all time. So, you know, it's got love amongst regular people, but apparently critics hated it. I want to see where we kind of land on this. Alex, we're going to go to you first. What did you think? Now, and I know your son loves pirates. He was locked in. Seemed like he was.
Oh, man. All right, so I will say this. Gavin was into. I mean, I sent you guys the photo. My man laid down with no shirt and underwear. He was just chilling like that on my wife, watching it. It was okay. So, as a father, seeing your son watching a movie, like I don't watch much of that because I always watch movies that they can't watch.
Right.
So this is like the first time me watching a movie that's in a genre that they could enjoy. So Gavin and Aiden are my high spectrum on autism. So it's like, we don't watch much. Like even Indiana Jones, which I'll allow them to watch it, they just don't care for it because they just don't know who he is. So this one in particular, he knows who this guy is. I mean, the minute Smee came out, this dude went Smee. But what was cool about it is when they showed Hook come out, he got up and he just started running. He was like, Hook. Give me the hook. Give me the hook. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I was like, whoa. So then he sat down and he watched it. Now, as a father watching that, it was cool. I was like, all right, that's fun. Now it's time for the review part. Now me sitting down as... what I thought... Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to be... Me and my wife said the same thing when this movie was done. I felt like the movie didn't age well. Now, and this is what I mean. At times, I started to get bored. I was like, oh, this is boring. It's lengthy. It was way lengthy of Peter Pan trying to discover who he is. And I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, oh, Lord, we're getting through this. And just like you said it on that article or whatever, where the performances, the music, and everything was great, I had problems with the other part, like just like that. I was just like, oh, man, the tone was totally adult. A lot of adult jokes in that. And I was like, wow, interesting. But I just felt at times, like, okay, this is kind of boring. And that was just me. I was just like, I just started to just get bored. And I'm like, interesting. Now, again, like I said, the performances of Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook, legendary. I think he was perfectly cast. I think it was great. Robert Williams, it still puts me sad to see because of the way he died and stuff. So like when you see him, you get really sad because an amazing actor. He was great for the role and everything around it was great. And I just don't know how to say it, but I just feel like this movie and me did not connect as where I connected with other, like The Last Crusade, I connected with the father and son. This one, I felt like the story was kind of forced. Like he's being evil to be evil because he forgot he was Peter Pan. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And my wife was saying the same thing. She was like, damn, we're 40 minutes in and we're still talking about the same issues. He doesn't know who he is. And then Julia Roberts, Tinkerbell, is in love with Peter Pan. And I'm like, really? I was like, when the hell did that happen? And I'm like, oh, this is a reimagined story of it. At the end of the day, I enjoyed it for what it was. I just feel like there's other movies that we watched I feel like was stronger than this one, but I did like this. This one was more kid oriented, like very kid, like the way he shot it. I loved it. Like when he went from Neverland to, and I was like, okay, this is really cool. But I just felt like there's certain aspects. I just felt like it was just way too long. The whole like him trying to get his son and daughter. So now we have this whole flying sequence of him trying to figure out, his best thoughts and all this stuff. And he doesn't believe, and then he believes, and then he doesn't believe again. And I'm just like, okay, dude, like let's get to the rhythm here. Captain Hook, I wish there was more of Captain Hook, the villain. Like he was just there for a little bit. I personally think he was there for a little bit. When he was evil, he was good. But then he just became more comical down the line we got. And I was just like, okay, I get they now started to give you the cartoon version of Captain Hook. Like it started off like a villain when he had him. He's like, hey, those are my kids. And he's like, that's you, Peter. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. That whole interaction was really cool. But then it just started to get comical. And then by the end of the whole thing, he became the Jack the Neverland Pirates Captain Hook, like the cartoony version. And I was like, I see where Steven Spielberg was going with this. If you're going to do the live action and you're going to make a serious tone, then go serious. If you're going to do the kid-friendly towards the end, then do that throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I felt. And I felt like and this is the last thing I'll say is, I just felt like the whole him forgetting who he was, it's pretty cool, but I felt like that's a storyline that's a different storyline for kids. Like my son did not know what the hell he was. After Hook left, he got up and left. That's it. Like he was done because the storyline didn't grab it. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know that Robert Williams is Peter Pan because he ain't flying. Like he's yelling at his son the whole damn time and business calls. Mm-hmm. Towards the ending, when he had the green suit, that's when he came back. Like towards the ending of the movie, because they started to fight and everything and Smee. So, and then the suicide thing, I was like, yo, what the hell? I had to like move my son because I was like, what is going on? He's like, Smee, I want to shoot myself.
I love that scene.
I mean,
it's so great.
It's funny. In a sense, it is funny, but when you're watching with your kids, sure. I'm like,
It's more adult.
It's a very funny scene. It's mad funny because I did laugh. He was just like, I'm going to do it this time, Smee. I'm going to do it.
He just can't live anymore. He's so depressed. Yeah. And then he's like, don't try to stop me. Don't you stop me. Stop me. Stop me.
He's like, stop me. You're taking a long ass time. Yeah, stop me. But like for me, I was like, that scene is a very dark scene for kids. I was like, no, I had to move my son. I was like, well, we're going to have to... don't look at this part right now. I was like, what's going on?
Cover your ears.
Yeah, I was like, pretty much like, because he has a gun to his head and my kids are all watching. And I'm like, yeah, this is not family friendly, like this part right here. So anyway, at the end of the day, I just thought it was average. I didn't go all crazy for it. So
fair. Yeah, I saw this at the theater when my parents took me to see when I was 4.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. My sister was 6.
Wow. Made in the 90s, still have the 80s vibes, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It was a little tougher back then. It was a little different. It was different times back then.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. All right. Do I want to go? Evan, we'll go to you. I'll go last. Okay. Evan, what did you think on your revisit for Hook?
I get what Alex is saying, but I'm going to disagree with a lot of, I disagree with it. One, sure. I think that this is one of the times where like movies coming out in the 90s, like late 80s, like they're trying to find the place where like kid movies are kid movies, adult movies are adult movies, and that weird teenage vibe movies are like trying to find its place. I think we're about to get there. So like you could see the tonality that we often forget. Oh, we watched this as a kid, so we think it's kid friendly, where it's really not. And I get where Alex is saying like that, but it's really weird. I forgot that this is set in Christmas. So watching it, and I was about to go to Disneyland and do all the Christmas vibes. It just felt perfect because I watched it before I went on vacation. So I made sure I had time to watch it, and it just felt good. Like I like that. I totally forgot that it was like kind of a Christmas movie. Like it's set around there.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm going to start off with my biggest flaw with this movie is that I think it doesn't explain well why Peter Pan forgot who he was. Like they kind of hint at it, they kind of mention it, but they don't really go, he just grows up and he forgets who he is. But like, how do you forget so much about that? Like they needed a little bit more telling of a story. And I think they could have easily done it with like, Grandma Wendy reading a story and explaining as Peter Pan then grew up and forgot who he was. Like they could have easily added something in the story to let us know how we got this Peter that we meet in the story. I, as a dad who has a teenage kid and raising any kid around teenage, it's just tough around no matter what. Like I was a middle school teacher for 20 years. Teenage years are just so tough. So there's like, I understand that vibe. Like I'm trying to do what you want to do, but I need to have a job so you could have what you want, but you want me to be here. And so it's a tough balance. And I really like that narrative and I like what we're doing. And where I think Alex is right, the tone changes. It's very serious and it gets funnier. I think I enjoyed that part because I thought that was the purpose of it. I thought that was behind it of saying Peter Pan's remembering he's a kid. So we're serious when Peter Pan's an adult and he forgot who he is. And as he progresses and believes and becomes Peter Pan, he becomes the jokester, the movie, the tone, everything around it, because he's no longer taking life seriously. And the movie matches that message. And I thought the movie did that very well. But I could see how that could be annoying for people because it does feel like two different movies. Like if you come in and go, I really like the serious part, but then it becomes very jokey. I think it starts with the food fight where that's exactly
where it goes.
Yeah, that it becomes a whole different movie, kind of like tonality and stuff. But I think that's the purpose, like the food fight. Peter Pan is now Peter Pan, so he's going back to the childhood thing he does. I really love that scene. I don't know if it's because I'm a dad. It was more powerful when he goes, "My happy thoughts are you," telling it to about his kids and that I'm grown up. I really liked it. Hit me. I might have teared up a little bit. Like it was, I enjoyed it. I loved every part. I love all the cameos. There are so many cameos in this movie. You have Phil Collins. You have what's his name from Cosby, Stills and Nash, or what is Cosby? Crosby, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
That guitar player. You have Glenn Close.
Glenn Close as a man. Yeah. That one's so funny.
As a man. Put in the boo box. Boo box. Boo box.
Yeah. The way she acts is so funny. It's so funny. Yeah.
And I think everyone's perfectly cast. I think Smee I think he's a scene stealer. I mean, whenever time he's hilarious.
And Bob Hoskins.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
He's great.
Perfect.
Yeah. Honestly,
Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell was always a weird one for me. I think she does okay, but it's hard to make believe because she seems like she's just Julia Roberts, if that makes sense. There's not much more of acting or being Tinkerbell. She doesn't have the feisty attitude that Tinkerbell has. I always thought Tinkerbell loved Peter Pan because that's why she hates Wendy. Like if you watch the cartoon, she's always jealous of Wendy. She's always jealous of things. So that was not an odd thing for me in the storyline. I always thought that's what it was because Tinkerbell doesn't like any female person who likes Peter Pan. She's always been a jealous person. Fairy, I guess that's what you call her. I think the kids are okay. I thought the daughter was a better actress than the son, and we get more of the son. I thought
the Dick Tracy kid.
Yeah,
you don't like the Dick Tracy kid?
Yeah, he was okay.
He was okay. On. He wasn't terrible, but he was like at times where I'm like,
Tracy.
You did?
Yeah, you know. Well, we did it on the Action podcast. Yeah. I don't like him in that movie. I think he's better here, but.
I don't like him. I don't think he's a great kid actor. He's not amazing, but he's not bad. But I did laugh when I saw the sister sitting watching a baseball game. I was like, don't fall off and choke because she's the girl from Field of Dreams. And she was eating. And I was thinking, oh, is she going to fall off? That's all I thought of when I saw that scene. I was like, but I think Robin Williams as Peter Pan, I think that's a cool story. I think he grows up, he forgets who he is. I do think it's long to get to the point. I think there is definitely beats that you could do but I think they were definitely trying to sell toys. I think the studio was trying to like the Lost Boy scenes, the Rufio, all these other scenes and characters were trying to make it cool for the time, like the skateboarding, like he was running around. That's all like the beginning of X Games.
I had a McDonald's Happy Meal toy of Rufio on that little skateboard with the sail.
It's in my garage right now. I have one.
Yeah, I specifically remember having that.
Yes. So, but you could tell this is that time where they're definitely adding characters and adding stuff in the movie so they can kind of capitalize it later. What's sad is my favorite part of the movie was seeing the TriStar logo. I mean, I grew up with that, with the horse. I did. It brings back memories. I miss the studio because, you know, that the music just makes you so excited. You're going to watch a movie.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. I especially hearing it at the theater is pretty cool. I'm hearing it right now in my head. The
none of the new logos are that cool.
I mean, 20th Century Fox and Universal are the only ones that have like the super iconic music. Anyway.
Music still. Yeah. And because like you have Bad Robot, it's just a robot running through a field. It's like, I don't care.
And Paramount, it's a logo that you know, but there's no music attached. It's just whatever they put. Yeah.
My favorite part in the movie when it goes, and it all starts with a spark. And you see all the colors, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
Yes. Maggie Smith, is that her name? Wendy?
Yes, Maggie Smith.
She's been playing the old lady for years. I thought she was. I mean, she's been in everything. Like
she's
this is my
female Morgan Freeman. She's been old for like 50 years. Honestly, she's been old. She's been 70 years old for 50 years.
Like, yeah, because I'm looking at how this movie's came out in 91 and she's playing the old grandma in Downton Abbey. It's like going, wait, have you not been playing the old grandma for that long?
The old nun in Sister Act? She's been the old person for forever.
She was Professor McGonagall.
In Harry Potter, she was old. Yeah. She's old and everything, but she's great all the time.
There's a very funny interview with her, and I forget someone else, and Judi Dench. And they were sitting around and they made fun of Judi Dench. I go, we just hate when Judi Dench, because she gets offered all the old lady roles before us.
I can see that. But they're up there. Whoever the other lady is, Maggie Smith, the old lady number 2 from England.
Yes. But I think she was I thought the story was, I do think the script is weak, but I still don't know what the critics were hating. Like, I don't understand such a low score, because this movie gets its point across and it's fun. Definitely iconic. I'm shocked that Disney, I don't know if Disney approved some of this stuff, because it was a lot of tie into their Peter Pan, like when he flies into the moon and stuff like that. Like, there's definitely a nod to all 3 major Peter Pans. So you have the Disney cartoon, you have the silent movie, and then you have the play, which you get with the girl playing Peter Pan in the very beginning. That's the iconic play with what's her name, who does it, where all the Peter Pans are always played by a female. So I like that they honor all kind of the 3 major Peter Pans, give the nod to that. But I do think overall I enjoyed it. I will probably add it into my Christmas rotation movies. I thought it was feel good. It has some arrows and some flaws. It does move long, especially in that middle part. Once Peter Pan is with the Lost Boys and they're trying to believe him or not, I think that is too long. I think you could have done that a much shorter and moved on. Some of the iconic scenes, I like the baseball scene and that stuff, because the dad's missing out. I do that, but I think we should have focused more on, like, have a more balance between watching the son lose his memory and Peter Pan gain his memory, because I just feel like those two are cool opposite stories, but you definitely don't get enough Captain Hook and the kid building that relationship. And it's 3 days, right?
Yeah.
The time that seems so fast and short with but
you also don't know how time moves in Neverland, because it's very different than, I feel like, regular.
Yeah, but we don't mention it in the movie, right?
Sure, but I feel like it's assumed, because he stays a kid. He ages because he goes there when he's a baby, but he becomes a boy. But it takes like so much longer. So I don't know what 3 days is in Neverland, but
I don't know. Yeah. But I just think, as when you're watching a live action, a lot of those little things could be explained more than the disbelief of watching an animated, because you usually don't ask the same questions. In my opinion, when watching animated, I don't like dissect the story as hard. I'm like, this is just the animated movie. But it was good. I liked it. I definitely hit harder for me as a dad this time around when I first showed it to my son for some reason. So I think it's because my kid's at that teenager and you're trying to figure out your relationship again, because you kind of have that reset of like, okay, he's growing up, he's getting more independent. Like, it was really weird. We went on vacation. My son did all the paperwork and we just had to sign it. Like, he filled it out. He says, you just need to sign this for me to go on vacation for the school. I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. Like, when he misses school, he emails the teachers and is asking for his schoolwork. He's 14. He's so mature. But I have to let them grow up. And so you have that at the same time. So maybe it was a perfect time where I am as a dad to watch this movie.
Nice. That's good. Your kid's good, because when I was 14, I was missing school, so I did not have to do whatever work every day. I was not making it up. All right, couple of other cameos too that you you mentioned a couple of the good ones. Yeah, Phil Collins. You also had Gwyneth Paltrow as young Wendy when he comes back to visit. And
I wouldn't call that a cameo. She was just an actress. She wasn't really famous at that time.
she's in one scene, so that's why, But also you did have also two, not cameos in the sense of they're famous, but both of Dustin Hoffman's kids are in this movie. Max Hoffman plays Peter Pan young when he remember the scenes where it's like the flashback. That is Max Hoffman. Also, his daughter Rebecca Hoffman played a character named Jane in the play. Remember when Maggie's doing the play? Mm-hmm. Is it Maggie? Maggie doing the play. She was in the play. And then Jake Hoffman, his other son, was one of the Little League baseball players during the baseball game. So he's like, if I'm going to do this movie, all my kids are going to be in this movie. And why not? They're all kids and they have a lot of kid roles to fill anyway. So, all right, you guys said a lot. I don't disagree with much of anything, but I'm going to go the total opposite. I freaking love this movie. I don't care. I love this movie. Right, let's start with I do have negatives, but we'll start with the positives. Number one, looks amazing. Love the way this movie looks. I love reading that it was shot on a studio or all on lots and stuff, because one of the things I love about this movie is that it has sets. It has big physical sets. This is before everything was CGI and everything was green screen. They're walking on a pirate ship. It looks like they're on a pirate ship. You know what I mean? They're walking around this little town. It's only a little piece of the town, but you got the little pirate town thing. You have the tree house where where the Lost Boys live. It's all physical and real and tangible, and I love it. I also like the stuff in England, like in the house and everything like that. Like, this is not a movie that has like 25 locations, but I do love the way the movie looks. I think this is, if not the most underrated John Williams score, I will say it's one of the best as far as his standalone scores, meaning no franchise, right? There's no part two of this. Like, even like Harry Potter, right? There's a bunch of those, or Jurassic Park. I think that score is better, but like, there's also been used over many times and sequels. And there's one hook. He did one score for it. And I think it's one of his best scores. Also, you could hear some of what he would do in Harry Potter in this score, which was interesting. But I love the music in this movie. I think it is amazing. Robin Williams, the whole cast is great. Robin Williams, amazing pick, and he's great in this movie because he's funny, but he also is not funny the whole time. Like, when he's Peter in the beginning and he has that stuff with the son, even when he yells at them, when he's on the phone and he's like, "Won't you shut up? Leave me alone." Like that whole scene. Even when I was a kid, that used to be like startle me. And I was like, man, he plays those scenes just as good as when he's playing Peter Pan and calling that guy a rude dude, chewed food, prude, whatever thing that he calls him, and a nearsighted gynecologist, which is also one of the funniest lines in the whole movie. I laugh every single time. I didn't get it when I was a kid, but I like it now when I'm an adult. I think it's hilarious. So this movie has a lot of that, a lot of stuff that would have went over my head when I was 8, that I appreciate more now. But the stuff that worked when I was a kid still works for me. I love Rufio. New character. I think he's a great addition. Someone who can kind of challenge, Peter Pan for the leadership thing. But at the end, they, ultimately work together. When he dies, that scene sucks. I don't care. Like, I feel bad for him. His last lines about him wishing that he had a dad like him, like, all that works for me. I think Rufio is great. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't like Peter Pan, the Disney movie. I don't like it. I think it's like a low. If you were like, what are your Disney animated films? It would be in the bottom 10 for me. I'm not a fan of Peter Pan. I don't think Neverland is like some amazing thing. I think he's kind of a little jerk. And you guys know how I am with like kids as it is. He's like a little jerk punk kid. So I'm not really a fan. So
he is in the book. He is. He does not. He's not a nice character.
No, he's
Peter Pan. Disney made him even nicer, and he's still a jerk. And I'm not going to disagree. Yeah. But even in the book, he's a major.
He's
jerk.
A little piece of crap.
People.
So the fact that they made me like him and like that I like a movie based off of this is impressive. What else? Dustin Hoffman. Alex, you hit the nail on the head. He is amazing in this movie. I love Dustin Hoffman. His accent, the way he talks, is so good. The little mustache twitch thing with the clocks when he hears the clocks. I just love the way he sounds in this movie. I thought he was a great Captain Hook. I do agree. he is more humorous, but I feel like Captain Hook was kind of a buffoon anyway, even in like the cartoons. And that's kind of the whole point. He's kind of a loser who thinks he's the greatest pirate that there ever was. And so it kind of works for me. I love the battle with the Lost Boys with all their like that big last pirate where they come on the thing and they have the guns with the little paint. I like that there's a little fat kid named Thud Butt. We'll never get another one of those in history. And I like that character. Like, I like that when Peter like gives him the sword at the end, like who's going to lead them? And this is a movie that's, you could describe it as overly sentimental, especially at certain parts. And I would agree with that. I wouldn't argue if someone's like, oh, it's too sentimental. Yes, I would say yes. However, I still like it. It doesn't really bother me that much. As far as negatives, I agree with both of you. I think it's a little long. Even watching it now, I forgot how long it was. And it's one of those ones where it's like, I can't necessarily pinpoint a moment they could take out because everything works. It's just a lot of stuff. And I'm surprised I liked this as much as I did when I was a kid, now being an adult and seeing how long it was. I'm like, damn, this movie's like 2.5 hours. But I mean, I was locked in when I was a kid. I don't know, but I do think it's long. I think the tone is weird too. The stuff with Tinkerbell specifically
is very weird.
Yeah,
yes,
I do find it weird.
Yeah,
I think Julia Roberts is fine in the role. I don't have a problem. She's gorgeous when she turns big. She has the dress on and everything. Love it. I love Julia Roberts. Fine, no problem. But tonally, it is weird. Her dynamic with Peter. Now, I'm not saying that. Because I don't know. I'm not a Peter Pan expert because, again, I don't really like Peter Pan. I don't know if Tinkerbell always like loved Peter Pan or had like a crush on him even though she's a fairy. I have no idea. But the way it plays out here, odd. Like, she was like, I'm sure she would have been fine with him just staying there with her and forgetting them kids and letting them go back and, whatever. When it started off as she was trying to help, oh, we got to get your kids. We got to. Ultimately, I think she does, kind of come around to that, and so she's ultimately a fine character. But yeah, I thought that was weird. So I think that's kind of weird, and kind of I feel like this is like a movie that kids watched. That's not really a kids movie.
Yes,
if that makes sense. It's Peter Pan. It's fantasy. It's PG rated. So parents are like, well, Peter Pan, but it's a movie mostly for grown-ups, in my opinion. I think it's a lot more relatable. If you're a dad, like in your guys' case, I mean, I'm not, but I'm old enough to have some kids, and I think it's more relatable if you're in your adulthood already than if you are a kid. Unless you have that, like, for example, like me and my dad, like we're very close, so I couldn't relate to Jack really, with that. But as an adult, I can relate to the whole thing with the work. You got to go to work. You're going to miss things. They're going to get mad at you. So I don't really look at this as a kid's movie. I look at it as an adult movie that kids can watch because there's not anything egregiously, adult in it. Sure, some jokes that they'll probably miss again, but, stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it is a weird movie. I agree with that. I don't think this is like a straightforward fantasy Peter Pan adaptation. It's kind of an odd duck, which could be why critics didn't really love it that much and why there's audience members who really did. I personally love it. So warts and all, it's one that I still loved even watching it now. But I totally see where you guys are coming from. And I can see where critics are coming from. If someone told me this is their favorite movie, I could believe them. And if someone told me they hate this movie, I could also believe them. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like universally amazing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, what's funny about this? Like, I was a little confused, and I was gonna wait for you guys to help me out. The movie, so this is where I'm confused at two parts. Maybe you guys could help me with. One, the story of Peter Pan in the movie. Did Maggie Smith, Wendy, wrote the story?
Yes.
She's
the author.
And then wrote
she did not write it. It was written about her. So she told the author, right. JJ, whatever the guy who's famous for writing it. They didn't change the author. But JJ Abrams. Not JJ, but it's J something. But okay. she told that story to him.
Okay.
And then he wrote it.
Okay, so she's a famous book author. Right?
No, she's
a famous book character.
A character.
Okay. So off of her life story.
We don't know, but she's famous. Like, she got the reward because after meeting Peter Pan, she becomes famous for taking in orphans.
Okay, I see what you mean.
A family.
Okay.
So we
J.M.
don't know,
Barrie
like,
is the author, by the way.
Yeah.
J.M. Barrie.
So we don't know, like, her money and how she has money. We don't explain it, but we do know from all the comic, from the movies and stuff, they're just part of that rich society.
Gotcha.
So, but she did not write Peter Pan. She inspired the play and the book because it was a play first and then turned into a book.
All right. So then my second question is, at the end of the movie, he's sleeping next to the water fountain, and then all of a sudden Smee shows up. Well, it's not Smee, but he's brushing bottles. Yeah, he looks like, and then all of a sudden Tinkerbell shows up. So I'm confused because I'm like, wait a minute, was he in a coma? Or was he like, because it reminded me of like Wizard of Oz, where her uncles and aunts was the scarecrow and the lion and all this crap. And then all of a sudden she woke up again and she's home. So like, that's where I'm a little confused. Like, did this stuff happen in his mind, or was this a real world thing? Like, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
I think it's in that regard, Wizard of Oz is a pretty good comp. It's more so like the Smee thing. It's just a guy who looks like him. It's obviously not. Yeah. Smee didn't leave Neverland. And
no, right.
So yeah, that good. Also, it's not a dream. I don't think it's a dream because it happened. Obviously, the kids were missing because they go back and show the mom, and they show. Yeah. I think they do a good job to show what's happening where they're not. That way, you can know this is really going on. But the whole thing with the memory, and that's where I kind of agree with you guys, is he comes back and he remembers that he just went over there. Because remember, he starts talking about, and he finally gives them the marbles and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's almost like when he travels, I guess, back and forth, something happens with your memories. I don't know if they're just, he got like unconscious when he flew back because he's old. They don't explain it that good, but I don't think it was a dream scenario. I think it was like legitimate. Whereas Wizard of Oz, I always thought like Dorothy was just dreaming.
Yeah, I thought she was like in a coma because she had her head or something in the tornado. Yeah, because I was just like, oh, okay. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought the first 20 minutes was really good. When they arrived to the house and they open the door and you see like all the smoke. I mean, not the wind blowing. Like the thing getting across. I was like, yo, could be a really good horror movie if you do a horror movie version of this. But I thought it was like really cool. But then all of a sudden, like, he didn't remember, and he's like, I'm gonna call 911, and I was just like, what? Like, you don't know who the hell Hook. But then again, it kind of makes sense. You might be right, because when the son was in Neverland, he started to forget his dad, but the sister didn't. Right. The sister remembered. So it has to be some type of.
Yeah, I feel like it could be something. When you're there, the longer you're there, the more your memories of wherever you came from sort of.
Yeah, it starts to wipe out. Yeah. It could be.
It just doesn't explain it well, because like you have the sister not remembering, you have Peter Pan then remembering at the end that we don't like. We're assuming he's going to always remember this as a father, and he's going to continue to be a good father because of what happened. But are we wary that he's going to forget what happened and no one does it like he did before? So I think that part of that story needs to be fleshed out for us to get buy-in on that.
I agree.
I never thought of any of that stuff, to be honest. And I still don't. Like, I watched the movie, I'm not like, I wonder if he's going to forget that he went to Neverland and then become a bad dad again.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think,
what the story says. He's now going to be a good dad.
I have a feeling, like, my thought was that he lost his shadow. Like, I thought the shadow of Peter Pan was gone. And then the little black kid was like, oh, there he is. And then you see him, and all of a sudden you see the shadow playing with the thing again. And then he looks in the water. You see himself as a youngster. I'm like, and that's when his memory started to come back. So I'm like, did he lose the Peter Pan shadow? And then it came back in him. And then all of a sudden, hey, I'm back as Peter Pan. Because all of a sudden, my man's wearing his spandex again, adult version of it. And I'm like, where the hell was this with a jiggy haircut? And I was like, where did all this come from? Yeah. So like, I was like, okay, that's cool. But I don't know. I just felt like Hook needed more stuff. I just felt like I needed more Hook for some reason.
Forgot, before we give our scores, I love the baseball scene. Not the one in Earth, the one in the Pirates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when they play.
Like, he's stealing second, and he shoots him.
He shot. He's like, no, we're going to play by Master Jack's rules. Yeah.
Because he's stealing. Oh, my gosh, it's hilarious.
But that's such a power. I love that scene because the dad, Peter Pan, is watching it. realizing he's learning. Captain Hook is technically being a good example of what he's not as a dad.
Yeah.
And so that it's just funny that the pirate, the thing that he hates, is actually the good example of what he
and also became. Jack hits a 450-foot bomb in that.
And he's like, "That's my son." And he's like, "No, that's my son."
I like when Jack has on the Captain Hook, like the wig and everything. It looks so funny to me. I think it's hilarious when he's like the little kid Captain Hook. That's funny. Okay, that being said, I love this film. Still do. A little more mixed from Alex, and Evan likes it. Alex, what is your score for this movie?
It's weird for it's kind of hard. I know I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it because I'm like, remember we all talked. E.T. is my 5 to 10.
That's true.
This is nowhere near E.T.
Whoa, okay.
For me. It's not. I don't have it at the same. Like I enjoyed E.T. But you know what? I feel like there's a one part in the movie, and I call this the Nate middle gray. Whereas, remember every movie that Nate hates, he goes, well, there's this one point, and that's what I call the Nate. And you're right, Evan, is the part that he throws the food fight. And I think leading all the way up to there, that's the Nate middle point, and then it goes right to another movie. And that's the Steven Spielberg effect.
That definitely happened in his early films.
Oh, it did.
Where we get to one spot.
Yeah. So with this one, I'm like, okay. Is it better than Close Encounters of the Third Kind? I gave that a 4 out of 10. Oh my God. I'm gonna lean my gut on this one. Because I think it's a way better movie than Close Encounters and way better than Always. Captain Hook took him.
He got taken to Neverland.
We gotta go to Neverland to get Evan. Okay. I'm going to give this a 5 out of a 10.
Okay.
I'm putting it in the middle ground because honestly, I still think E.T. is a little bit better movie in a broad scope. I think it's a better movie, but this one is. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it's a 5 out of 10 because it's better than Always. It's better than Close Encounters. Right? Because those are my lowest 2 ranks right now. Are those 2? So I'm like, you know what? It is better than those 2, so it gets a 5.
Yeah, I like this movie way better than all of those movies. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's not a 10. It's not a 10 out of 10. I've given a couple 10 so far. This is not a 10 because there's flaws that do bother me enough to lower the half a point. But it's close, dude. I absolutely love this movie. Now, again, this is a heart score for sure, more than anything. Although I do think it's a legitimately good movie. I don't understand the 29% at all.
It's not a 29. I can see more of a 49 if you want to. If you really want to
50, I guess. But, but yeah, I think it's a very well made, well directed, well acted, well cast, good looking, good sounding movie that I happen to have a lot of nostalgia for. So for me, I give it a 9.5. Evan, Alex gave it a 5. I gave it a 9.5. What do you give this movie?
I give it an 8. I enjoyed it. It's a solid film for me, and I plan to rewatch it probably every year now.
There you go. 8, 9.5, 5. Kind of, I mean, that makes sense. That kind of fits in with, I feel like, what the reception of this movie is. If you ask 5 people, they'll have scores kind of all over the place, probably. Anyway, that is Hook from 1991. Now, next episode, we are approaching the greatest movie that has ever been made. The GOAT, if you will. The greatest movie of all time. Now, I'm saying that in jest and also truly believing it. It is my favorite film of all time. So, spoiler alert for any list we're going to do. But to me, it is the best movie ever made. We're coming to 1993's Jurassic Park. I have seen this movie 1,000 times, and I will still be rewatching it for this for this review because I can. So yes, we will be doing Jurassic Park. I can't wait to hear what you guys say because me and Alex did talk. We've talked about it because we did a Jurassic Park ranking, but we didn't go super in depth on the film. Evan, I have no idea of your opinion on the film. I like to keep it that way until next week. So I have no idea. Everyone on Earth who knows me knows my opinion of the film, but I'll go first. That way we just get it out the way.
Did you like it?
It's okay. Like, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So yes, that'll be the first of the 1993 films. He did another one, and that'll be the week after that. Very different movie. So yes, next episode will be Jurassic Park. As always, thank you for watching. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified when new videos drop. Leave us a comment down below. Do you like Hook? Are you team Evan, where you like it? Are you team Nate, where you love it? Or are you team Alex, where you, it's okay? I want to know in the comments down below. Or are you team none of us and you just hate the movie? I also want to know there. And make sure you give us a thumbs up. Hype the video. Helps it out. Everything to help the channel out. We do have memberships. Check them out. If you're enjoying what we do and you want to help support us. Anyway, that is all we got. We will be back next week. So until then, be awesome to each other. Geek out.